All right. Why don't we do this? I am going to introduce myself. I'm going to have a chance to tell you what's going on. I just put together everything right now. Before we go any further, I'm going to share something called a bingo card to play with throughout the week. I'm Sarah. If you haven't been here before, this is the third annual Surviving the Merry Madness. I am so pleased to be able to do this. I really feel this is a gap I'm feeling in the widow community, especially us who are solo parents, because that limbo between Christmas and New Year's can be really tough. I started feeling out on freaking Sunday. I am bored. I have done all the things. You get so bored, you can't get out of it. Was like that. And I'm like, this is what my daughter, my 9-year-old daughter, feels all the time, and it sucks. But now, with the waves, I'm like, all the things, none of the things, all the things, none of the things. So I do want to talk about that today, which is emotional capacity. I am here as an 11-year veteran now. This is my 10th Christmas because Mike died the end of April 26, 2014. Weird time. My daughter was born 2 years later, so I sometimes kind of get 20, whatever. Those two. I gotta stress out. Mess. I gotta start there. Mentally, emotional, physically, spiritually, socially. Mentally, I'm a little scattered, obviously. Thankfully, it was not a crazy holiday. It was good. I was able to get everything done, which is good. Mentally, it worked out because I was in a right headspace this time. I don't know why, but I was expecting to be hit with a sledgehammer on Christmas because I was last year and I was a year before. It is kind of jump scares me, as my son would say. This year it didn't, which was nice. There still was the anticipation of it, so that didn't go away. But I was able to cruise through. And then in the afternoon, the kids open their presents. They're really thankful, which is wonderful. I realize that I don't have to have every single perfect present, which I lowered my own bar for that, which I thought was important. Before that, literally the day before, I was counting presents, freaking out because I was trying to compare how big each one was and whether anybody got the same amount. And my daughter was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Okay, stop." Mentally, I'm still scattered, trying to get back into the swing of things. Again, limbo week. It's weird. So emotionally, I'm also weird because all the stuff. It's continually got a ride. I did get a yoga session in yesterday, which was good because I was climbing the walls from not from being inside or just doing all the people thing, which I'm not very good at. So socially also brings into that of it's draining. I love seeing my sisters. My youngest sister just announced that after a year and a half of trying and 2 embryos, 1 viable, she did not do the transfer because she got pregnant naturally. Super, which was nice. She's now 11 weeks along, the farthest she's ever carried, and she's delighted. My daughter will be 10 years older than her child will be, and I'm actually 11 years between me and Miriam. So I'm like, at least we've proven we can have family and get along with each other even with that gap. Alex is extraordinarily happy. Everybody's happy, except for my middle sister, who is now wondering whether she can continue life as it is because she never had kids and maybe she made the wrong decisions. So that was there too. So I'm trying to emotionally all deal with that kind of thing. Socially, it was exhausting. Did nothing over the next couple of days. Now I'm here with you guys, which is nice. Thank you very much. We're going to go around. Jen, if you want to don't even say your background, as everybody here knows you. If people want to know your history, we can reach out. This is not for that. Your mess, mental, emotional, physically, spiritually / socially. How are you?
So mentally, I think I'm okay. The last 3 days, I've barely gotten out of bed, just exhausted. I'm not sleeping well, but I'm not doing anything to exhaust me other than everything I did last month. Felt a little guilty about being in bed. I got up to drive and I did laundry and I did dishes and I heated up leftovers. So I didn't do nothing. I wasn't like wallowing in bed, just mostly in bed. I'm mad at myself because I didn't work on my puzzle. I didn't read any of my books, but I watched 2 whole shows. Emotionally, I'm kind of okay. It was a roller coaster of emotions getting into the holidays with my mom here. It's just been rough. We got into a huge fight. I think we resolved it in the sense that we're not talking about it anymore. We said we were sorry, but nothing got resolved because she's not going to change. And my boundaries are still my boundaries. It is what it is. Physically, nothing hurts. I haven't been able to do my walks because I didn't want to. No reason. Socially, Bella had a sleepover Saturday night, and I was supposed to meet people, and Max was sick, so I didn't feel safe leaving him, so I stayed home and fell asleep even though I was watching him be sick. I feel a little sad my social things didn't work out, but I'm just as glad because I was tired. Nothing really on the horizon, like, all of our plans are kinda loosey-goosey. I'm supposed to report for jury duty tomorrow, so I have to call in tonight to see if I have to do that. Really sucky time for them to do it because you can't know till 24 hours in advance, and we might have gone out of town for a night or 2 if we had known, so kinda in limbo until later. Today is actually way busier than I thought it was gonna be, so, yeah, I'm actually doing okay. I enjoy this time I'm like the opposite of you. I enjoy this time between with the break where the kids just randomly are like, "Drive me here, drive me there." I have no schedule, but it's only 2.5 weeks. Over the summer, it drives me a little crazy, but for 2.5 weeks, I'm happy to not have a set schedule. So, yeah, I'm pretty chilled today.
That's good. That's amazing. It feels like you've been on the gas pedal this whole entire time, and now you're finally able to let it go a little bit, which is
Mhm.
good. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I'll ask you more questions later on. You can give me examples of like how things have gone because I'll ask you guys questions. It's gonna try to search. He's smiling. I'm
Good.
gonna go this way. Sorry, Jen. So Jen, you go on it. Shelley, would you mind going next? And then I'm gonna ask for Barbara and Emily. Feel free to join in after Barbara. Go ahead, Shelley.
Okay, well, I'm not even cup half empty or half full on a cup scale. I'm lucky if I have a quarter cup of mental, physical, emotional, and social capacity left. I'm at about an ounce. That ounce is going fast. It was an interesting week. I did my regional social group on Sunday, and only one person came, which was nice. It was virtual, so it didn't matter. Then Christmas Eve, we went to church. My mother warned me the pastor who triggers me all the time was preaching. And she goes, "Well, I'm not feeling that well. So we'll just both sit at the back. And then when he starts to preach, I'll probably be ready to go home by then. So you can just walk me home. And if anybody is going to say anything, because she's still not 100%. I was walking her home. As soon as the scripture reading started, we did that, and my aunt, who was watching on Zoom, had to tell us the next day that she had seen us walking out. I walked mom home. We stayed there. My brother, sister-in-law, sister, and Danica all showed up after the service, and we opened presents, mostly presents for the kids. My niece didn't know my sister was coming home because of my mom like my mom's diagnosis. She found out from a friend instead of us. She was annoyed about whatever. Christmas Day, we went to my cousin's house. I drove my mom and aunt to visit my grandma. She was doing pretty good. Had supper at my cousin's house. Annika hiding in the closet there. As she waves at you, she's cooking her lunch. Had driven my sister, and my sister basically, for 3/4 of the trip, picked on Danica and made it sound like she didn't have enough faith and shouldn't be grieving so hard. My sister knows what it's like to lose her dad, but you were almost 50 years old when you lost your dad, not 18. So, like, shut up. So, yeah, Danica apparently was crying when she got to my cousin's house, and my cousin has a counseling certificate. So she tried to calm things down. And my sister, usually cheerful, whatever person, and she just kind of sat in the corner and read her book and whatever. She wanted to go home, so she took my mom and my aunt home, and then I stayed with Danica, and Danica played games with my cousin's girls, and I played games with my cousin and her husband, which was okay. I was knitting, so it was funny because they're going, "Shelley, you just keep knitting." So that was fun. By Friday morning, I was peopled out. My cousin called, we went cross-country skiing, and then on the way back from skiing, my car decided to give me problems. So it started fine, it was running fine, went around the first curve in the road, and then the whole dashboard lights up with all these flashy lights and everything. I'm watching my phone, waiting for the tow truck guy coming from an hour and a half away to tow my car. The electric motor worked, not the gas one. So at least I got home, my cousin and her husband followed me, and he took a look to see what was going on, and he was like, "You know what, just park it in the garage with the cold weather." So I'm glad I did, because then it snowed like 8 inches. We already have more snow on the ground than all of last winter, and we're not even to January 1st yet. I'm tired of snow. I'd like to find some place where there's never another snowflake, but not realistic. Anyway, I think I've used up every ounce of energy and reserve I have. My cousin called to ask if I wanted to go skiing again, and I'm like, no, if Danica wants to go, she can go. I am going to lay on my couch once my car has been picked up. The dealership can't look at it till tomorrow. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but just to add to the pile of shit. So that's me. Sorry, I'm just like Debbie Downer yet again.
No, it's the point of this, right? Every emotion is valid. Every single one. You can have happiness, grief, frustration, and relief.
Okay, but I'm Canadian. I still have to apologize.
True. It's funny. Okay, let me keep going. Barbara, how are you? Good to see you. How are you doing?
Why? I'm all right. Very quiet Christmas. We stayed home. Usually we're out at my cousin's house in Pennsylvania and like in a couple towns over at my friend's house, like we've done for the past like 48 years, but there was too many people, so we got axed from the list. It was just me and the kids. That's basically it for our Christmas. We woke up early. Kids opened up the presents. Gabe's was more functional, so everything that he asked me for, I had gotten and wrapped and put under the tree, and so he wasn't really shocked at what he got. Daughter was a little bit more excited because I got stuff from a store called Vampire Freaks, like slippers and a mystery box. We got a raccoon skull, a reindeer beetle, and stuff like that in a box. So she was happy. John stopped by for a minute on Christmas Eve. He didn't like to see me unhappy. He gave me like a can bottle opener thing, and that was cool. And then on Christmas Day, he came over and like came inside, exchanged our gifts, and then he went home. So yeah, it was good. Just quiet. I know, but I like to be around people.
This is the first time you're actually on your terms, though. You already had a Christmas gathering. It's different now that it's quiet. It sounds like you can start inviting people in. You can start asking people to come to your house because you're creating that space now. Baby steps, you're getting there. Maybe next time, instead of a big Christmas thing, you can do a milestone later in the year. See if you can bring people in.
Mhm.
A big thing.
Yep.
Looking at the board, we do have Emily. Emily, did you want to join in? Did you want to share? No worries. Feel free if you want to. You can put in the comments if you want to talk, or you DM me or Sylvia directly. And Shelly, that's beautiful. What kind of fabric is that?
It feels like a velour thing. My niece was doing some knitting and had extra yarn she wasn't using. She hated this one. She told me as I was knitting on Christmas Eve. So she had given me a whole bunch. So I just figured I would knit it and see what I came up with. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is sewing the ends together, and then I can use it like a neck warmer or something like that where it comes up. Because it's colder.
Do a twist so it's a Moby wrap.
I don't know how to do that. You'll have to send me instructions. Either that or else I'm just going to wear it like this, and I have little clip things that I can clip it together and wear it like a shawl. So I haven't decided yet. I should grab my other project. I'll mute myself and grab my project.
Talking about emotional capacity, I love knitting. Jen, I know you knit or crochet. Having that to feel comfortable, I find very comfortable. I was tempted to bring it to my sister's place because of that. Oh my goodness, it's big. You've been busy.
I'm knitting that for a friend who lets me stay at her house. So I have one more ball of yarn to go. It'll be a bit bigger than a lap blanket. I have one more ball of this color. So I just have this little strawberry patch in to add a little extra to it. I'll see. There, you can see it better if I bring it closer. That's what I've been doing when I watch TV.
Right, I love it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, very briefly, I want to give you an idea of what to expect. I do want to welcome that you're here. I'm glad you're here. It is the fact you're here, taking this time to yourself when there is other kids out there that you have to take care of, or I know my living room's a mess again. And I find, but I want to I wanted to come here because at this point, for me at least, and I think a lot of you had said, see, there was adrenaline, which is dropped. It's the noise is gone. And now you're left with whatever the week stirred up. Every emotion is valid. You being here today is a powerful step towards honoring yourself, your emotions, and your capacity for the season. The factory, wherever you are, off camera, on camera, whatever, you don't have to be cheerful. You don't need to summarize your holidays. You don't even have to have insight or communicate or whatever. You're just here because it's not about pushing through. It's not about trying to perform or put a mask on. This is honesty. We are not as you know, we don't hold back. Our life is ridiculous, crazy, amazing, and unbelievably real. We've been pushing through this whole entire time. And now I want to take that space to listen more honestly to what you could actually carry. You've been pushing through so much in this silence, listening to yourself and knowing those boundaries. For the next week, I sent you an email and I put it in the Facebook group. If you're a VIP, there is a Facebook group, you're available. You can be here all week for it with each other. I put up, let me go back to it, I'm going to share it actually, so it makes it easier so people can see where I am. Okay, you can see actually don't have as many tabs as I usually do. We're doing the managing expectations and emotional capacity. If you want to respond here, that's fine. Otherwise, just show up on the Zoom call, drop in, drop out. Thankful for what you did. Core topics, managing expectations, honoring your well-being, adjusting to changing family dynamics. Today, we're doing the emotional capacity. We'll do managing expectations later on in the week. The other choice topics that you guys chose were the deep exhaustion of being the only parent, how to emotionally reset after December ends, and that constant tension between grief and joy. I love a lot of these. I think the fact that you guys put your 2 cents in makes a huge difference because that really helps you know where to put this, and I have ideas. I'm going to be looking at this and your responses to see how that lands. We'll have the agenda for you at the end of today, and I'll put it in the email as well as here. So if you even are not a VIP, you'll get the syllabus. These are the ones that stood out. No names. The upcoming death anniversary of my husband in January. There are a lot of milestones around here, not just for us. I've seen in the widows group many different layers of grief beyond the fact of how grief itself is a layer. Being tired, lethargic, and peopled out. I'm totally on the peopled out thing, but I'm an introvert. The fact that you guys are here is because I get energy from you guys, but I'm tired. I was so tired every weekend. You guys feel that too, obviously. Balancing the desire, balancing their desire with I can't speak. Oh my goodness. Balancing their joy to be with their kids and the joy and with their grief and managing that through their eyes and feeling the waves hit again, which makes sense. This is big freaking emotional time. It is one of the most emotional milestones there because people almost expect you to be happy. You expect you to be happy. Your emotional state's already in anticipation, understandably. Feeling guilty. This was interesting. Feeling guilty for receiving the love and support from family and friends that I need, but I can't seem to return. That was interesting because we've talked before about how difficult it is for us to ask for help, how isolated we feel like we can. And then when we do feel support, we do get that. We're like, I'm not sure how to deal with this. I'm not sure how I can reciprocate. There's a lot of self-doubt, the guilt, the lack of teamwork, support like it used to be. We are definitely going to be talking about the deep exhaustion from being the only parent for these things. Doing the gifts on your own, not getting a gift yourself from your significant others. And then navigating my grief along with my kids, trying to be emotionally and mentally present. I wanted to throw those out because I wanted to, before we go any further, which one hit with you the most? I don't want you to say which one was yours, but tell me what of that this was what got me versus where I'm feeling right now. I can put them back up if you need to. Emily, you don't have this yet. There's the quotes. You're welcome not to say anything too. Just put that in your head as we go forward because that's the awareness. Emily, I see you said here, my husband Ryan passed December 16th, 2019. And it was his 7th anniversary, angelversary. I love that. And then Christmas. December is tough. I did what I could to make Christmas happy for our daughter. I lost both parents in 2021, so another Christmas without them. So it's the sandwich generation, dealing with the fact that you were also grieving your husband, which is also the parent of your kids, their father, but now you're the only parent here. Like you're not even, like you can't even be supported as a kid anymore because you've lost that support. That's a lot, Emily. I'm really glad. I mean, the emotional support for me, especially the first couple of years and absolutely later on too, is all about the kids. Has to be through the kids, seeing it through their eyes. Even if I don't have the emotional capacity to be happy, I can see joy in them. That fills my cup in a way that I couldn't do personally. It's getting better over the years. I give a mountain more gifts to my kids than I do for myself. And I even got my son get away with not getting me a gift every year. So that's how we're feeling. And again, I want to put up as well before we go into with more stuff that I have to talk about, the bingo card. So what this is I'm not going to find it again. Oh my goodness. I have too many things up. Wait, did I find it? I might have found that. All right. I'm going to read what I put before. Another Christmas milestone is over. After 10 years of doing this, and it's still hard, and the emotions are strong, and it's everything, guys. So as we're going to go through this, I would love you to think as well what you've gone through and how your experiences have shown you your own emotional capacity. I'm going to write down what I went through. If you have the capacity to write down yourself or to share, it doesn't matter. I just want to show examples of where I was triggered and what made me realize where emotional capacity. Okay, this is Widow Christmas Bingo. Which emotions can you mark off your card? Woke up anxious and insecure, not quite sure of my footing. I wasn't sure what to expect. Even though I've been doing this for a while, I'm like, no, sometimes you have to expect the unexpected. And that's tough when making sure everything's okay. Keeping an ear open for waking kids as I jumped quickly through the shower. I hesitated over choosing to wear casual pajamas or dress up and wear that. Like, where do I stand in that? And I chose a latter because I decided that I needed confidence, and putting that on helped. I was excited through my kids' eyes as they discovered their stockings. This is joy and grief here. I felt weird to celebrate the holidays without him, yet grateful that I'm still here to do so on his behalf. Pure happiness and satisfaction at a mom's job well done, wherever either of them made an ooh face as they opened the gift. I'm trying to balance it off. Oh, it's okay, Mom. Be happy with what I've done. The incredible sorrow and loneliness to see that empty space where he should be. Frustrated that the kids didn't immediately play with what I got them. I want immediate gratification. Overwhelmed by trying to cook the perfect Christmas meal last year. This wasn't this year. This year I said, no, I'm not doing this. Overwhelmed by trying to cook the perfect Christmas meal with recipes I'd never used. More anxiety and depression when the perfect meal didn't turn out. Almost dead, guys. This is like a big bingo card, right? Pure despair. Again, this happened last year, but it's still in my mind. I was expecting pure despair when the TV my husband bought turned into a multicolored mess. Why am I upset about this? Again, this is last year. Thankfully, this didn't happen this year. Last year, I ran into my bedroom to collapse into a gasping, crying mess. This is something I did not do on my bingo card this year. I actually managed to get together. I had a nap because I was exhausted. Feeling guilty. My daughter was trying to comfort me. I should be here for them. Pulled myself into strong mom mode for the kids. At the very end, after all of that, there was comfort and happiness as we settled on the couch to eat and watch a Christmas movie. I am positive that one of those many things you could have identified with yourself. And there's certain things you have felt you'll be able to handle this year and what you're not able to handle. So I don't want to be all gloom. Looking at everything that's happened, where is something that you can say to yourself that you were very proud of, that you noticed your emotional capacity in that moment and you dealt with it? Now, this could be either by crying into the room. This could be the pure joy that you had with your kids. This could be whatever that is. Maybe you decided to eat the Christmas chocolate before the kids. Something that made you happy and it made you feel you did the right thing. I'm going to let you put your hands up for that one. Go ahead, Barbara.
I actually got the kids to have dinner at the dining room table with me, which hasn't been happening. I think that bingo card is more geared toward those with younger kids. A lot of it was spent mostly by myself, getting dinner and meals ready and whatnot. But yeah, that was what I was proud of.
That's amazing. Well, you've been trying to do this for a bit. That was the point. You wanted to have them come out of their rooms. You were really hoping they'd participate. That's amazing. And yeah, you know what? You are more than welcome, every one of you in the group, either or in the comments here. If you want to throw something in there that we can add to the bingo card for the older kids, please do. Our kids are getting older, and how we deal with things is differently. If anybody else would like to check off something that they have done that they're proud of over the past weeks, years, whatever.
I didn't leave everything to the last minute. Most presents were wrapped by the 22nd or 23rd, so I was almost done. It felt really good to not leave it all to the last minute.
What does that mean, the last minute? Like, how was it before? How was it different this time?
Well, we never wrapped anything till Christmas Eve. We started after the kids went to bed, so it was exhausting. Part of it was because in Amazon boxes, the kids couldn't see what it was, but I'm like, this is ridiculous. I can wrap everything and put it under a blanket in my room. The kids gave me an exact list, but I think that was sort of going from Mark's way of doing it to my way of getting it done early and not stressing the night before. And Bella and I go to midnight mass. Everything was wrapped, and I was waiting for the kids to sleep to put everything under the tree. At 3 in the morning, I gave up and I went to sleep. And then I woke up at 7 in a panic going, I hope no one's up yet, and put everything out because they still want that magic of the trees empty and the trees full. When Bella woke up, she didn't walk by the tree. She purposely didn't look until she was ready, which was cool. We waited till Max was awake, so we didn't open presents till 1 in the afternoon. I was doing what was right for me, not what was right for Mark, not what was right for anybody else. And so it felt good this year to just sort of do that and not be in physical pain from wrapping because I was sitting on the floor and trying to bend over on the bed and all of that. I was able to just do a little bit at a time. So it wasn't physically taxing. It's always emotionally taxing, but I'm proud I didn't leave it all to the last minute. I didn't sleep well all week, but I wasn't exhausted because I had to stay up. So that was good.
I like that because you knew in advance that you were going to be stressed out. You knew in advance that if you did not have enough sleep or wait for everything to the last minute, it would be a repeat of what you didn't want. And the fact you're able to go, no, I can do something about this is empowering. That's amazing. Small victories are huge too. We're bad at this. We look at the things we didn't do. I was looking at how big everybody's present was and how to make sure that everything's exactly the same. But when I'm in those moments, having a small moment like that, I'm like, okay, hang on to that one. I did that right. Everything else I can learn from. Everything. Emotional capacity means you are only responsible for your own emotional capacity. You can be here for your kids and you can be there if they whatever need, but it's their emotions, and especially as they get older and decide how they can do it, which actually points to Barbara as well, because you're absolutely giving them the space to have these emotions and to be here, whatever that means for them, at the Christmas table or when to leave. Thank you. Shelley, what about you? I know this is a tough time for you. Is there something you were happy with?
This scarf helped me stay on an even keel, but even just the fact that I went skiing the other day with my cousins, I was looking at my phone trying to find the pictures from last year to figure out how far we went. It was at least 2.5 kilometers. I've been getting my snow plowed and shoveling my deck. So I've managed to stay functioning. Actually, I think the biggest survival thing was just getting myself out of bed this morning and calling roadside assistance to get that damn car towed. because that happened Friday. I tried starting it Saturday. It was problematic. I left it alone yesterday. I tried starting it this morning before I called. Even though I didn't fall asleep until 3, I was up at 8:30 this morning. I spent half the day yesterday looking for a trade-in option, figuring it's done. It just wallowing in the hole of a new car already giving me issues.
Tell me about that, because I want to go into feeling that out too. We've talked about this is the joy and this is how we've done it okay. But the next thing I want to talk about, which goes into, is understanding how grief compiles onto each other. You were not expecting car trouble around the holidays. You were so frustrated about that happening again. How did you feel that come into play with how you dealt with things? As much as like you're just saying, I could stay up all night. If I stay up all night, I'll be exhausted and tired. You having to deal with this kind of thing is another that you had to deal with.
It's just normal because I've dealt with all the car stuff before. So, if I look at how Sean and I did stuff, it was more like I was the husband and he was the wife. I did all the typical male things, which is why my daughter was yelling at me, why isn't anything in our house normal? I dragged her into the laundry room over there, showed her the dryer and pointed to the normal on the dryer and said, this is the only setting that's ever going to be normal in this house, so get used to it. I go into that survivor mode. I'm used to putting out fires. It's what I did in my job, so I naturally fall into it. It's later on that I don't have the resources to dig myself out of not just wanting to curl up under the blanket and pretend the world doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
I hate feeling that way. Now that I'm involved here, I've been doing more stuff. Your phones listen to you, Facebook listens to you. So all these grief things are popping up. But there's a couple things I signed up for after Camp Widow, and I'm finding every grief thing about healing triggers me. It's like my brain can't handle the concept of going back to being someone who is not just functioning, but living my life, experiencing life rather than just one step forward and two steps back day to day. And so anytime I get an email about here, like I just got one from who shall not be named, I unsubscribed because it was triggering. It's hard to figure out what healing or being better, or if that's even good terminology for me.
Mm.
And now the dogs are barking, so I gotta go. I'll be back, but the tow truck
Okay.
is here.
Go for it. This is our lives. Before we go on, I actually do want to introduce you, Rose, or have you introduce yourself. Thank you for being here. It's so good to see you. I do want to roll back to that, how there was no idea of fixing or getting better per se, but there is a instinctual, I have to make sure I'm okay. And if I'm a survivor, that's how I know. I mean, I identified so much for being a survivor for so long that if there was any idea I could be happy, I can't, I'm going to mess it up. I'm going to mess it up. If I'm a survivor, I can do this, right? Letting go was really hard. I'm a widow. I'm not saying I'm proud of a widow, but I'm proud to not just be a label. A survivor was my label for the longest time. It was hard to identify anything out of it because it was too scary. Does that make sense? Rose, thank you for being here. Oh my God, good to see your face. You're muted. I'm going to see if I can get you to unmute. I'm going to push the ask to unmute and see if that did anything.
Okay.
Here we go.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah?
It's working. I haven't used Zoom since my kids were under COVID. Hi.
All right, so briefly, how old are your kids and what number Christmas had this been for you as a widow?
It's our third Christmas. My kids are now 11 and 13 boys, but this is my second year because my husband passed on December 7th. So really moved the tree out of the way to get hospice.
There's a lot of anticipatory grief. That's another thing in itself. How was it this year for you?
I feel numb. I don't know what normal is, but I feel numb, like the girl was just saying, it's just sitting on a washing machine. I did more this year than I'd done in the past. I did half decorated my yard. I'd make more cookies than usual, but So I went through the motions. I did more than I have in the last 2 years, 3 years. So there's that. The bonus that I work in the school system is I'm off, so I have the time.
Good for you. Hi. My son, the kids come in for, first of all, good for you to be in the school system because that's tough, but also good that you're taking this time to say, okay, I'm just going to take the holiday, lower the bar, look at my expectations, what I can do for myself. I'm glad. The numb thing, it's because of the length of it. Barbara and Jen, you could probably speak more to this than I can. Mine was unexpected. That bar of what is normal doesn't necessarily mean anything. Besides, like, this is typically what happens when you feel better. It's typically first year is numb and second year is like this overwhelm of, oh my God, this is reality now. But when you have anticipatory grief, it kind of changes that time line a lot. So it kind of makes sense to me that you're still numb. Does that make sense to you, Barbara and Jen? You would probably know a bit better than that than I would. Yeah.
I
It's
think
different.
it does, especially since your husband passed like closer to Christmas and everything. It kind of is more triggering for you. Mine passed in the end of September, so I had some time to cope with it. How shall I say?
Yeah. No expectations. Everything is what it is. That sounds stupid. I apologize. I was dumb. I do want to talk about how the week or even the month really revealed about capacity. And you guys all kind of mentioned this in a certain way. There's an analogy of a stress bucket. It's called the stress bucket, and it's really simple, and it tells the truth. The idea is you have a bucket, right? Your bucket can only hold so much. And the part that matters the most after the holidays is that grief already takes up space in that bucket, right? You don't know. It could change day by day exactly how much is taking space it is taking up in your emotional capacity. So when you add hosting, traveling, managing kids' expectations, family dynamics, financial stress, things spill over. It's too much. If you don't have enough sleep, if you're already like anticipation or you're numb, even if you're numb, sometimes you feel kind of things still pile up until it hit me. When that bucket overflows, we feel overwhelmed, burnt out, or anxious, or just like, I'm done. I want to say this clearly because it can feel harder on Christmas Day, especially around this time. That load is heavy. If you're freaking out, numb, if you freak out, if you got mad at the kids, if you were emotionally blah, that's okay because you're already holding. And it's not a low capacity. Okay. It's not a low capacity for emotional. It's because your capacity has been stretched so high, you expect to do more. And when it spills over, it's like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I can't hold this. You're not meant to carry this without support. You're not supposed to be here without him. This was not the point. We're supposed to have the kids or family gathering. Everybody's happy. The kids are supposed to be around the Christmas table. What's going on? Instead of saying there's certain things I couldn't handle, it's more the idea of where can I put a hole to let go of some stress? Where can I be aware of what's bothering me? That's the easiest thing to relieve. I want you to think about what you've done. And I want you to think about what filled your bucket. And we did talk about this, but think about it again. Actually, no, it's kind of a strength. Before we talked about what we felt good, what overflowed the bucket? You don't have to share it if you don't want to, but the one thing that made you go, okay, I can't stop. I have to go away, or I have to reflect and go, oh, I can deal with this. What really hit you? For me, my emotional capacity blew up when it was unexpected because I was so close to freaking out that I kept it together. I was very happy. I actually enjoyed myself. The blow up for me was the next day. I was freaking happy. I can't believe that was actually happening. And it was the overflow of relief because I had been holding everything together, anticipating that, even though everything was okay. And the next day, I was done. and I couldn't do anything. I felt bad. But looking back, that was a lot because even with the joy and the grief, that's a full bucket. Everybody wants to hear everything.
Well, this year, having to manage my mom really is what sort of threw me over the edge. Not only was I managing her expectations and her emotions, it was managing my children's emotions around my mom's emotions. And no one was there to help me manage mine. It was much harder than anticipated. Thanksgiving and the few fights in between helped us sort of figure it out. But I didn't want to have to deal with it. And I did. And we got through it and it was okay. But it wasn't necessarily easy.
I love that. It was true, though, how you're able to, you identified that right there. This is not easy. This is never something that's easy for do. It changes every year, not just because our grief, our lives have changed, or our expectations have changed. I do want to ask, actually, and again, you don't have to share if you don't want to. Again, I know there was an anticipation of having your mom there and that changing the dynamic. When it comes to your expectations and emotional capacity, looking back at what you were expecting and what actually happened, was there a difference?
I was expecting the worst and it was okay. We were like a volcano. Releasing tension with that major fight helped. Plus, my sister answered the phone when my mom called to wish her a Merry Christmas. My mom came over so happy. My sister spoke to her and it was great. I was so grateful for my sister who did not have the emotional capacity to deal with my mom, who took the call and made it so the entire day wasn't about what's wrong with Carolyn. Why won't she speak to me? How dare she? I've done all this for her. I spoke to her. Maybe I will send her a Christmas present. I'm like, that's up to you, Mom. It was much more pleasant because they had that conversation. I spoke to my dad a couple days earlier, and he's like, it's just going to be worse, this, that, if we do speak to her, if we don't speak to her. I go, it's easier for me if you do. I think he shared that with my sister. She took the call as my Christmas present. She's like, I'll deal with Mom for 10 minutes so Jen doesn't have to. And it was the best present she could have given me because it really did make the day much easier.
Yeah, that goes into expecting the worst. Another thing that put me over the edge, which I was not expecting. I don't know why, but I'm like, oh, I'm better now. It's been 10 years. Oh, that's what it was. Oh my God, guys. Okay, so everything's fine. Everything's amazing. I made it through. I was happy. I actually got along with my sisters. Again, family dynamics later. I decided I had the emotional capacity. You know what I decided to do? Get a bottle of wine and start watching This Is Us, which I haven't watched since my husband, because these guys know when this came out, I had just lost my husband. So I was riding it and watched it because it was the one show which actually reflected my reality. I could see where my kids were going to be and where I was right now. It was the only thing I identified with. So I'm like, I can do this. I really want to see this show. Sitting there watching, I got through 2, maybe 3 episodes. If my daughter wasn't beside me, I would have lost my shit. If I hadn't been drinking wine, maybe it would have been better. But again, my stupidity, I'm like, why? I can do this. Freaking miserable. It really hit. And I did this deep dive into my emotions. I wrote a long thing about it. Even the next day, I had an emotional hangover. And I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do it. And that's okay. The fact that I can say that there are certain things that I still can't do. And it's stupid. Like, all it is a TV show. But it's not to me. And knowing that going forward, what I've learned is if I'm going to watch it, not to binge it and take it in chunks and be able to say, no, I'm not watching that for a bit just because I can't. If I go back to it eventually, that's cool. It's okay that I can't do this. And maybe I can't ever. Looking at a snapshot of the buildup of December, the emotional capacity and logistics and everything else, the one thing it does do, sounds stupid, but it almost gives us a milestone that we can stick our flag in. I say it's the same thing for any death anniversary or anniversary, no matter what you've gone through. It's like the idea of you're going through Everest and you have a stick and marker and you put it in the ground and you're like, I did this. I have got this far. I can do this. And then the next year, when you see it again, you're like, wait a minute, I've done this. And not the idea of we're doing it again. We're like, no, we can do it. We can do this freaking thing again. Each time, you're a little bit further ahead than before. For me, it's looking at those 10 years going, I have not only survived 10 years, but figured out how to make it up this hill easier every time, even if there's rock slides in between. I can say I was here, and every year plant your flag. Prove to yourself. I've done this. I can keep doing this. Does that help? Does that bring any bells with any of you? No. Everybody's so quiet today. That's cool. How is your? Oh, yeah, I want to make sure I end off because it's been an hour. I want to kind of end off to make sure we actually are okay because there's a lot of silence, which is good. Emotional capacity is huge. Next time we're gonna do something that's not as deep, so we can kind of lighten up as well because this was a deep one. How are you feeling right now? After all of this, in this very moment, how are you feeling? I would love to hear if you can be as vulnerable as possible because this is the beginning of where we can share for each other and be here going forward.
Numb yet scared of New Year's Eve.
Tell me about the New Year's Eve thing.
It's going into another year without him. And now my kids are old enough that they want to be up in part of it. We started letting them stay up 2 years before Dad died. So now they want to be up in part of it. And it's them 3 hours between what used to be their bedtime and now midnight takes forever.
Is it because you don't know what to do at the time? Is it managing logistics or emotions?
They want to do all that. I'm exhausted by then. I'm exhausted by 10 o'clock. But 9 o'clock's their bedtime, 10 o'clock's mine, and trying to stay up longer is exhausting. I don't mind doing the games, but I start getting irritated and snapping. Why did we even bother?
New Year's is a big one. Another year that I'm going into, and this is not where I want to be. Yeah, it sounds like you're exhausted even before 10 o'clock. Then New Year's. I get that. Part of this exhaustion is hard because there's almost just this denouement, but I have to make New Year's resolutions and be happy and figure out what I'm going to do. And then there's a lot of pressure and expectations there too. You know what? I bring that into the managing expectations when we do the external thing. That's a very good point. Thank you for making that up. I feel numb. Not awesome, but we get it completely.
I'm not a wreck every day.
Barbara, Shelley, Jen, Emily, if you're there. Jen, I read says, I am amazed at how many shows have a widow as a main character that I never related to until I became a widow. And most shows, they are not portrayed well completely. I feel like this is us do a great job of actually capturing the emotion. Yeah, no, absolutely. It is. It's for me too. I've also found 2 Christmas kids movies that deal with the loss of their parent in a very realistic way. It's good for my 9-year-old. It's not really for 13-year-olds, but it was really nice because it was the gravity, but at the same time of it was really, you connected with it. If it's not real, you're like, this is not how it goes. Thank you. I'm gonna right now because this is big, right? Barbara, Shelley, Jen, Emily. Does anybody else want to say how they're feeling right now about how they can
I have to run, but I did want
Yeah.
really nice to have a recap and understanding of what happened for Shelley, Barbara, and you, Sarah, because, know and love you all. It was nice to hear how your Christmases were. Looking forward to the rest of the week.
Good. Chicken.
I got to run.
I'm glad my car made it on the tow truck. It was a weird experience. I went up the garage, pushed the button, the electric motor started, so the check engine light didn't flashy at me, which was good because then it allowed me to put it in neutral so he could tow it onto the flatbed. Because he said some new cars won't let you stay in neutral unless the driver's in the seat. I had to ride in the vehicle up onto the truck and hop off before he could lift it. It's a good thing I grew up on a farm and know how to jump off trailers because I didn't kill myself. It was weird going backwards and not having control and the jerky motion, but at least that's done. Now I will decompress about my vehicle not being in my garage. At least my mom said I could use my old Jeep that I sold to her to go to Winnipeg, so I still have access to a vehicle because Danica is heading back to Winnipeg on Wednesday. I will finish cleaning out her closet and organizing. Then I can check one more thing off my big to-do list. Sarah, you will laugh. I started making a list of all the things I need to do in my house. That should keep me busy through to the end of snow. But what I did is I put each thing, itemized it individually, like clean out this dresser, go through kitchen cabinets, one item kind of thing, so that if I can only do one thing a day, so today it's clean out Danica's closet and go through the little dog step box that my dog never uses, but it is storage in. So that's where I'm at.
Totally do the ADHD thing too, right? I mean, you have all those lists and it can feel overwhelming. But if I do like a small little thing now, I did it. Dopamine burst. Maybe if I can do like the bigger thing later, that's fine. If I can do that, can.
I've always done lists. It's easier to check stuff off and then I could organize things and it made me feel good to cross it off. I consider it like a survival thing. It's my big list. Have my weekly plan. So I put one item on or a couple of small items on, and then I can check them off and also know not to feel guilty if it didn't get done today. There's always tomorrow or next week. So that's what I'm doing.
Sounds like my husband, except he did it in Excel.
I used to do it in my head. Now I write it down. Before, if I actually wrote a list down, it was more for everybody else in the house to say, hey, this is what we're doing, or this is the 750 things mom is doing. So help out where you can.
Maybe I can get my kids to start doing things. Writing out the whole list of what has to be done.
Make sure your expectations is if they actually manage to get one thing done, you're happy. It is nice though. Like I have a chore board up right now and I have checked off some things. And for me, I'm like, I don't even care they haven't done everything. They did something. Which is nice. I did something. I did the sheets.
My youngest is ADHD. I make him make his own list. So because he's a reader. If you read it and write it, it's more likely to stay in your head more and he can check it off. It's like you're writing the list makes him responsible. He's 11, but I make him write his own list. He gets up first, and so he has to feed and water the dogs and let them out. Make a list so that you know everything that needs to be done. Then you can check it off.
I also find that if I do it this way, I can look at the list and say, I did one thing today. So if I sleep on the couch, I feel less guilty. I have to find ways to mitigate self-inflicted guilt.
The fact that, Rosie, you're taking a list and or telling him, you make the list. You did the thing. You are literally saying, I cannot deal with this emotionally or functionally. It's your turn. You deal with it. You figure it out. I'm doing everything else out there. And you're divesting yourself of any outcomes that you take on because of that. All right, I'm going to close it up. It's very obvious to me that as we go forward, I'm not going to have it structured. I went back to old habits and I can see how it was jarring to people. I'm going to keep the topics out there, throw ideas out, and see if we can do it a little more loosey-goosey than we usually do, just because emotional capacity. And I'm aware of that, and I want to make sure that this is here for you. Now, everybody who's a Fight Phoenix member or a VIP, there is a Facebook group. Please take advantage of it. We are here. We are throughout the week. Those just to make here in between time. If you're not VIP, Rose, or sorry, oh my God, Emily, I just got like shell shocked because I was thinking my Emily, my sister, and it kind of freaked me out. Sorry, Ed. If anybody here wants to be upgraded, let me know. And if not, there's no pressure. We'll set out the list of what to expect for the next couple days. I really hope you can show up. If you can, drop in, drop out. We're here. Okay, replays all be available too. I'll send those off to you later. Any questions? No. Take care. One step at a time. Welcome, Emily. I'll see you tomorrow, I hope.